safely cross without sinking in. Whoa, oh, oh boy. This might be a bad idea. Let's see. Yeah, definitely over this. And I think we'll hit. Oh, this is getting nastier by the minute. There. And there. And my boots are slick. Let's try that little guy. Oh boy. Now we gotta try to get up there as we sink in. I think we're gonna have to put the camera down for this activity. Boy, that'll get the old heart racing. That was not fun. Basically, I used that log, reached up, grabbed that tree, then climbed up this, and now we're here. Oh my God. Howdy-ho, friends. Welcome to another episode of, you guessed it, Trekking Tuesday. The original plan was to go see if Shelter Island still existed and the river didn't wash it away. I pulled into the parking lot, was getting ready to head out, and there's a whole bunch of law enforcement officers on four-wheelers. I sat there for a minute and kind of watched what they were doing. They started heading out into the woods. I decided probably a good idea not to go there. So that kind of ruined those plans. Now I'm at a different location. Actually, the lean-to shelter should be over there somewhere. I'm not sure. I haven't been to this side yet since the flooding. And yes, it does look all different. The teepee is in that direction about a mile plus, maybe 2 miles. And then the parking lot is just right there, not that far. But I have no clue what we're going to do today because my plans kind of got screwed up. So we're going to be winging it as usual. I do want to film trying out another one of Carl's creations. I'm not sure how that's going to work because right now the weather conditions are not favorable for videoing. The temperature is 58, probably a high of 60 today. 60 today, maybe, if we're lucky. But the wind, it is 12, gusting to 40 mile an hour. I know it's not good, and they say it could get even stronger as the day continues. So whatever we do, we need to find somewhere that we're safe to set up a day camp. This is kind of interesting. We're standing where that sunken boat used to be. Oh boy, hang on. It's down there somewhere. We really need to cut into the woods and get out of this wind, but I wanted to show you this real quick. This used to go from here all the way across. It was just straight across. Now, not so much. It's all eroded out. Jeez. You can tell where the whole side of this riverbank it just slid down by where those trees are located. We're at our turning point where we need to start cutting into the woods. I do somewhat recognize this creek that comes through here. What I'm attempting to do now is find the lean-to. This area seems to be fairly dry, and you can tell there hasn't been any water up here really. I'm thinking it might be okay. I need to check. We need to go over this tree stump first. We might be at the same level as the levee. Oh, crazy berries. Whoops. Hung up on a tree. Yeah, those are poisonous. Birds love them though. Good to know the tree's still here. And no snakes. Wow. This is really grown over. Lean-to should be right over there somewhere. I'll be darned. It's still here. Look at this, friends. I built this over a year ago, I think. Basically, Jeremy built this really cool wiki up right there, and the wind took it out, I think, or it could have been vandalism. I took all the materials from it, built this lean-to without using any cordage whatsoever, and it has survived the floods. Roof could use some maintenance. Definitely do not want to get a spark on that. That could be a bad deal. But yeah, from what I'm seeing up here, I don't think there's been any floodwaters. You know, this would be a great place because I've got all the materials to build that teepee that is surrounded in shrink wrap, the one they said you can build for like $3 or $4, because everything I need is right here. And the road to the parking lot is right that way, maybe I don't know, 0.8 miles. My wheels are spinning on this. But this is not going to be our filming location. I want to go back down into the woods. So we need to find somewhere to set up our day camp. Picking a spot has not been easy. I'd find one, the ground would be level. I look up, there's a dead standing cottonwood or tree right over my head in a windstorm. Not going to happen. I've settled on this location. For the most part, we're good on the canopy. There's a couple limbs there, but I'm not too worried about them. It's not really level, but I can work with it. I've been noticing this tree limb is kind of down and bent, that we could set our shelter up right underneath of it, right here, because the wind's coming in from the river, hit the back of the shelter and bounce over us, and then possibly, I'll have to wait and see, a fire pit in this area. There's a little tension on it from these trees here, but I think it's just holding it in place. I've been wiggling on it and I stood on it, and I'm very happy. We got a small dead standing there, not worried about it. We got a couple cottonwoods over there, but that one's a little concerning. See that dead standing? And there's one kind of right behind it. If the wind was coming towards us in this direction, hitting the backside of this tree there, I'd be worried about it, but the wind is hitting the front of it, so the chances of it coming down are slim. Hopefully nothing. If it does, though, we could hear it start to creak and pop before it actually comes down, so it'll give us probably 10 seconds of warning. All right, next we're gonna pop out the shelter I'm gonna be using. This little guy I haven't used in a long time, man. I think you guys are gonna like it, so let me get it set up and y'all can take a look. That wind is not letting up. It just keeps getting stronger and stronger. All right, let's take a look at the shelter system. It's basically a military half shelter on steroids. I think, don't quote me on this, this is a 9x12 tarp, and I measured it out, folded it over, and put a grommet there. I do have a video on this somewhere. I don't know where it's at. But as it's set up now, you could fit one person in it. But if you had to, all you got to do is lift the back up a little bit with some sticks or something, and then you get enough room for two people. These are shooting sticks you can get at Wally World. I didn't need to put this guideline on there, or tie-down line, for it to be self-supporting, but I did that because I was throwing a pack up against it and I didn't want it to kick the pole out. And you can adjust these sticks up higher or lower if you want it to. You just move this corner back a bit and you can get a higher altitude, but I don't think we need that. I could lift the back up a little, but I'm happy with the way it is. There is one flaw in my design, and I didn't think about this when I built it, is where this grommet is located, there and there. When it rains, the freaking water comes in that hole right there. To fix that, I just roll a stick underneath of it, put it up, and then the water kind of gets redirected out. Of course, if you look at the setup, it's not the best spot for rain anyway, because there's a valley right there. It would work, we'd just have to trench from there on down and then trench it out. It would work that way, but I'm pretty happy with the setup. Now, if I were allowed to stay the night, I've been laying in there for about 40 minutes, just kind of chilling. I would pull this back, then pull the ground cloth up, and then find my impression in the body in the sand, because this is a sand silt mix, and just kind of dig it out a little bit, make it more comfortable. But for the day, it's going to be perfect. I've decided we're going to go ahead and go with the fire. I've been watching the leaves when the wind blows, and they're really not moving that much in this area here because the wind is just bouncing over the top of the shelter. So I'm thinking if we do the fire, that right here is going to be our best bet. We've got our fire going, and we're now past the critical part. I don't have high flames like I had earlier, so we don't have to worry about it as much. We still have to keep an eye on it though. And anytime I feel that it's too dangerous, I will put the fire out, which is real easy. We just push all the dirt on top of it. One problem, might be a little too close to the shelter. You can see as the wind blows over the top of the shelter, it blows up. It creates a foil or like a vacuum and sucks the smoke back in right into the shelter system. Yeah, not good. And honestly, there's real no easy fix for that. You can just see it going right into the shelter. As a plus side, I don't have to worry about the sparks shooting out into the woods. I can keep an eye on them here, so that's one plus side. That's it. Other than that, everything's getting a freaking smoke bath. Now we're thinking about the video shoot. The sun in about, right about there, we're going to think 45 minutes or so. When it gets right about there, it's going to be the perfect time to shoot. I'll have a good angle. I'm going to have to definitely hide one camera right by my pack, so that's going to be the setup area. And then I'll put the other two cameras out here somewhere, shooting in, mainly focusing on the shelter, so I don't get a washout from that back there from the light, from the sunlight. I am getting a little hungry though. Let me see if we can even get close to a time. Alright, so 12. I'm thinking, oh, right around maybe 3, maybe 3:30 or so, because right there's, but yeah, I think it's about 3:30. So in a half an hour we'll be ready, and by then I will be extremely hungry. The video is done. The wind actually died down enough for me to do it, and of course it's starting to pick up right now. Carl's meal, it's the last one I had. It was freaking awesome, man, and I am full. I was standing over here and I caught this out of the corner of my eye when the light hit it. I'm noticing there's some bank line on this tree, and it goes to the ground. I'm not sure where it goes. I'm thinking this was either a trap, because this tree is very springy, or it could have been part of somebody's tarp setup or camp. Either way, somebody's been here before. And it wasn't me, because I would not leave my cordage out here like that. Fire is just about out. I'm drying my glove because it got kind of wet. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's dry. I don't like putting those things away wet. Let's go ahead and dry this next glove. Let's check our time real quick. There we go. Thinking maybe 4:30, almost 5 o'clock. What I want to do now is we're going to break the camp down after I clean up all my mess, and I want to head to the river and get some shots of the river before the sun sets. Another thing I noticed, and let's go over here real quick. I was looking, make sure there's no snakes in there. No, I think we're good. All right, I was looking at my pant leg, and look at that. Freaking Klingons, man. This could take me forever to get those things off. I probably got all those when I was going through the field. Jesus. Anyway, let's get the camp cleaned up and that fire out, and we'll head up to the river. It's official. This is the most weight this pack has ever had on it since I've owned it. Because I got the shelter system. I brought it out, and then we got my jacket on the bottom of that. Now, theoretically, the shelter system, tongue twister, should go down on the bottom because it's heavy, but it's only a mile in, not a big deal. I even went ahead and put the waist belt back on the pack, and we got a Klingon on there, so I could try that out, see how it works. And then I'm going to go ahead and wear my other jacket out, because I have a feeling once we get up to the riverbank, it's going to get a little cold. And that sun is moving down quick, so I need to get up there and get set up so we can get some good shots of the river before the sun goes down. All right, next, I need to put the fire out. And then check the area, make sure it's nice and clean. I don't see anything left around. I even cut that cordage down and took care of it. All right, so let's get this fire out. Our fire is 110% out, and I'm noticing there's not as much clay on this side as there is on the teepee side. So that's more silt from the river. I went to go strap on the waist belt of the pack, and look at it, the dang thing pulled out of its buckle. Yeah, we're gonna look at that when we get up here to the riverbank and get the camera set up, because I'm losing daylight fast. I think we're approaching 6 o'clock. One more check of the area. Looks good. We're not that far from the riverbank. In fact, I think we got a pretty clear shot through here. Ooh. Yep, there it is, right there. That is freaking beautiful, man. Having the sun shoot into the woods like that. It's awesomeness. Yes, the river is still up. So obviously, I can't film that way, but we can. You know what? Let's film upriver here, and then a ways up. I think there's a tree that'll block the sun, and I can film down the river. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up here. I want to get my next shot from here, headed down that way. Then I'm noticing every once in a while we got a cool whirlpool opening up here. So I'm gonna hike on down there somewhere in that clearing and get a shot of the whirlpool when it opens. And then we'll start going back to the trailhead. Because, yeah, it's definitely 6 o'clock. I've got all the shots I've needed. I tried to fix the waist belt. It's having issues. I'm not going to worry about it at this time. So we're slowly going to hike our way back to the trailhead. And be very careful when hiking along this riverbank right here. I don't want to get too close to it. Just in case it decides to slide in like pretty much Dad has. But I did keep the tripod out just in case I find something else I want to take a shot of. It's good to see the old tree brawl has survived the floods. Cannot believe that thing is still there. This is the part I'm dreading the most, is crossing through here. All that down there is pretty much freaking quick silt. Not unless we go down a little bit further. Because I know when I went down this or up this way, it was pretty darn slick. Let's see. Oh, we could cross that log jam over there, then go up. All right, let's do that. That looks a heck of a lot safer. Yeah, we just need to get there first. All right, we need to do a little bit of backtracking. Let's see. Uh-oh, we're hung up on a tree. Yeah, we got some beaver chew right there. I think, oh, we're committed now. There's no stopping in, we're going in. All right, friends, this is gonna get bad. So, I'm gonna have to put you away until we make it to the other side as I sink in. We made it safely across, and how I did it is I grabbed another stick like this. We kept 3 points of contact, and we went down that log, turned a little bit, and then we came up this one right here. Now, all we got left to do is make it up this hill, and stepping there, bad idea. So we're gonna go through the trees, and it's starting to get slick. And we'll use that log. And then the leaves the rest of the way. And we're out. Mountaineer should be right over there. Here's our way out, and somebody put a nice little bridge up for us. That's cool. And the Mountaineer's just right over there. Oh boy, we're going to be cutting it close getting home today, friends. I'm checking the strap, and it looks like it just pulled through. I didn't have it clipped right or something. Like it's on there now. Seems to be pretty darn tight. Oh well, we'll test that the next outing. Oh, would you look at this? We accumulated some leaves and debris on the top of the pack. All righty, friends. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this here video up. It was a pretty darn good day. Got to use a shelter I haven't used in, I want to say, at least 7 years. Yeah, it's been that long. Tried out one of Carl's creations. Loved it. Still getting the debris off the pack. Look at that. They're everywhere. I've officially been attacked by Klingons. I got them on there. All over my pants. Yeah, I need to get those off before I get home. Yeah, boy. All right, friends. Thanks for coming to leave. We got stuttered. Anyway, thanks for coming along with me on my journey today. I'll see you on YouTube. Oh, that's so pretty.